Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Most people spend their entire life running from themselves. They smile, they laugh, they pretend to be kind, but deep inside, they are haunted by something dark, something they refuse to see. The shadow is everything a person refuses to acknowledge about themselves, yet it still influences their life. There's a part of you that you hate, that you reject, that you deny. It holds your fears and your rage, your envy, your selfishness, your darkness. Everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is. The more you ignore it, the more control it has over you. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. When you refuse to face your shadow, it doesn't disappear. It hides, it festers, it grows stronger. It appears as addiction, as anxiety, as depression, as self-sabotage, as hate towards yourself and others. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. The things you hate in others often reflect the things you suppress in yourself. The liar despises dishonesty. The coward despises weakness. The selfish despises greed. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. When you pretend to be pure, when you act like you are only good, you become blind. Blind to your own capacity for evil. And this is when the shadow takes over. A man who is unaware of his shadow is dangerous, not only to others, but to himself. The only way out is in, face it, name it, own it. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Your jealousy, your anger, your cruelty, your fears, they are part of you, not to be celebrated, not to be unleashed, but to be understood, controlled, integrated. One, knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of other people. When you own your shadow, you become whole. You stop being controlled by unconscious impulses. You stop projecting your darkness onto others. You become dangerous, but in control. A person capable of both destruction and creation. A person capable of true choice. Look at the world, at the wars, at the hatred, at the corruption, all of it. A reflection of collective shadows, unconscious, unacknowledged, uncontrolled. The world hangs on a thin thread, and that thread is the psyche of man. You can lie to the world. You can lie to your friends. You can even lie to yourself, but the shadow knows. It never sleeps. It never fades. It waits. In the dark corners of your mind, in the silence between your thoughts, in the anger you suppress, in the envy you deny, in the fear you avoid. The more you run from it, the more it runs your life. You pretend to be good. You pretend to be in control. But the shadow is patient. It shows itself in the way you sabotage your dreams, in the way you hurt the people you love, in the choices you regret, but repeat, in the quiet self-hatred that whispers at 3 a.m. You might think you're free, but as long as the shadow remains unconscious, you are a puppet, a slave. If you do not confront your shadow, it will come out in the events of your life as fate. Look around you. at the people consumed by addiction, by rage, by depression, by emptiness. It's not just circumstance. It's not just bad luck. It's the shadow unleashed. The wars we fight, the violence, the corruption, the endless suffering of the world. None of it is random. It is the manifestation of millions of unconscious shadows, colliding, competing, destroying, and until each person turns inward, until we face the darkness within, the darkness outside will never end. But here's the terrifying truth. Most people will never do it. Most will live and die, completely unaware of the monster in the mirror. Because facing the shadow is the hardest thing a human being can do. It means admitting you are not who you pretend to be. You are not just good. You are not pure. You are not innocent. Inside you is the capacity for betrayal, for cruelty, for selfishness, for destruction. And yet, inside you is also the power to transform it. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Carl Jung. But you cannot become whole without walking through your own darkness. The shadow is not your enemy, it's a part of you. It is the gateway to power, to freedom, to truth. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. Pain is the price of awakening. Pain is the door you must walk through, face it, or be forever ruled by it. The choice is yours.